for some Doki Doki Blue Skies. It's been a while since I've streamed on this particular day of the week, mainly because I usually prefer to get some sleep in. But I've decided I wanted to stream yesterday, didn't get around to it, so I decided to push it a day forward, and it's not like I need to wake up particularly early. Well, I kind of do, but it's not like I need to be fully awake early in the morning. Anyway, we're back in the literature... Well, we're not back in the literature club, we're back at home in the game about the literature club. And the first word we read today in a game about literature is... A wonderful word. I think we can all agree. It just embodies so many different emotions. A feeling of relief, a scream in a panic. It could mean so many things. But in this case, I think we just got out of bed again. Right? I think so. Well, no use talking about this stuff, I guess we should just move on now. Because no one wants to see me discussing what this particular word could possibly mean. You know that feeling where you wake up and actually feel refreshed from having a solid night's sleep? That's a very, very rare feeling. I feel like I know that feeling, but it's been such a long time since I could have possibly felt it. I mean, even if you wake up on your own, like if you sleep far into the day, like sleep until noon and wake up on your own, I still feel like that feeling doesn't usually come around that much. But whenever it does come around, it is probably the best feeling you could ever hope to experience in that situation. Sad that it's so rare. Yeah, me neither. Oh! Well, there we go. As I check my phone's display, I'm once again reminded that Valentine's Day is slowly but surely creeping towards me. Right, that's a plot point that we have to approach now. I wearily sink back into my pillow. Am I expected to prepare some sort of gesture? Also, that reminds me, we're currently in the middle of Act 3. I don't know how many acts this game has. From what I can tell so far, Act 1, retelling of the original game. Act 2 is the story of slowly but surely becoming an official couple with whoever you're interested in. And now in the beginning of in Act 3, now we're not through Act 3, we're just in the middle of it. We're in the middle of Act 3, and so far from what I can tell, it's where you find out their character's darker side and start trying to help them. Now, whether or not we'll succeed in helping them in Act 3 is another question, because I don't even know how many acts there are. But it could be that Act 3 is basically the entire journey of helping them get over their bad sides. But I suppose the only way to find out is to press on. Like, take her out to a meal or something? Oh man. It's tempting to close my eyes and go back to sleep. But we all know how that would end. Ignoring the cries of my body, I reluctantly swing my legs out of bed. At once, I'm mercilessly attacked by the temperature difference outside of the covers. Drowsingly making my way to the bathroom, I prepare to summon the energy to make it through the day. Well, that's one perk of winter air, it definitely wakes you up. But not in a pleasant way. Feeling a little more alive, I start the familiar journey towards school. Hang on, maybe I could wait for Sayori? Oh, we're finally waiting up for her again. Thank you for finally noticing your mistakes. I mean, it's not like I'd be taking any time away from Yuri if I walked with Sayori, so there's no harm in it. Well, I guess there's nothing to do except wait. Shivering slightly, I rub my arms with my hands. How was it warm enough to eat lunch outside yesterday? The weather around here makes no sense. Still no sign of Sayori. With a sigh, I pull out my phone and send her a text. And again. Alright, it seems to be like this every time. I've noticed it the previous stream, but I'm noticing it again now. You guys can't see the smartphone on the middle of the screen. Like, hang on, if I just use my mouse. Basically, it takes up the entire screen from top to bottom and from about here to about here. And you guys just can't see it. You can only see it in the points where there's actually text. I don't know why that's happening. When this happens, it's basically the only thing that my recording software doesn't manage to pick up. I don't know why. It should still be part of the game window, right? Right? I think so. So why is it not picking it up? Oh well. Hey Sayori, it's kinda random, but you wanna walk to school together today? No reply. Weird. She's probably sleeping or has her phone switched off. Either way, I don't have the time to check up on her. If I hang around any longer, I run the risk of being late myself. Making a mental note to talk to Sayori the next time I see her in person, I slip my phone back into my pocket and start walking to school. Code. How nice of you to turn up. We were all waiting. Worriedly, I glance at the clock. Huh? But, sir, I'm not late. He chuckles to himself. Indeed you aren't. Sorry, I just felt like playing a little joke. That's evil, sir. And I didn't even know teachers had a sense of humor. Oh! He feigns a wounded expression as the rest of the class laughs. My. They warned me that being a teacher would be tough. I'll have you know that a sense of humor is prerequisite to becoming a teacher. And why is that, sir? Well, teaching a bunch of surly teenagers for hours on end. You had to find a way to power through the day, and what better way than with a joke? Are we really that much of a chore to deal with? Now, that would be telling. Anyway, today's lesson. His face drops a little. Unfortunately, the 1930s, especially in Germany, aren't exactly humorous, so I apologize in advance. Thankfully, the lesson passed by relatively quickly. It's crazy to think about what the world used to be like. That it is. A world of totalitarian regime, founded on fear and maintained through blind obedience. To think that the status quo was so widely accepted. And that evil lurks in the hearts of ordinary people. Code? Well, for a start, I realized that Sakurai is standing in front of me looking rather expectant. Oh, sorry, sir. I was a bit, lost in thought. Thinking about the lesson, huh? There's a dry sarcasm in his voice. Yeah, actually. Really? Now, that's not something I hear every day. Anyway, I was meaning to ask about what you want to do after you finish school. It might seem a little early now, but believe me, graduation will sneak up on you before you can say history's the best subject. It's funny that you mentioned that, because I actually have given it some thought. Oh? Yeah, I decided I want to go to university. Ah, very respectable choice. I trust you'll opt for a history degree. Maybe. Something analytical for sure. I'm pondering my options at the moment, Japanese or history, yeah. Anything to do with literary analysis. He nods approvingly. Don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining, but what spurred this on? I always thought you enjoyed history, but I never thought you wanted to take it up at university. Well, I guess I've just broadened my horizon a bit, you know. There's a mischievous twinkle in his eyes. And what's ignited this passion, I wonder? There's a student I teach who also has quite the flair for literature. She's rather quiet, but whenever she answers a question and hands her homework in, it's clear that she's very intelligent. I don't suppose such a description rings a bell with you, does it? He smirks. His smirk is one half innocent, one half knowing. You're talking about Yuri, aren't you? We're, dating? Aha! That explains a lot. I can see that she's rubbed off on you. And that's the second person to remind me of this. Looks like it really is true. Anyway, it's good to see that you've got a plan. A lot of students have no clue, even in their third year. You'll have to work hard though. The exams that you have to take in order to progress to university are pretty intense. Don't worry though. You've plenty of time to prepare, and I'm sure that with Yuri by your side, you'll be just fine. Well, that's reassuring to hear. It's only recently that I really began giving serious thought on my future, so it helps to have so much information, as much of information as I can. Indeed, preparation is the key to success after all. Does Yuri share similar post-school plans? Uh-huh. He smiles. I figured. Well, that's all I wanted to ask you. You clearly know what you want to do, so there's not much else for us to talk about. If you need any help or guidance on the university admission process, don't hesitate to ask me. Noted, sir. Thank you. You're welcome, Code. Now I believe it's lunchtime, so if you'll excuse me. With a nod, he leaves the room. I wander after him, making a beeline for Yuri's homeroom. Once again, I happen to catch her just as she's leaving. She sees me approaching and offers a friendly wave. Hi, Yuri. Good timing once again, Code. I really have a knack for this, don't I? It would appear so. Shall we head for the club room? It's a little too cold for the rooftop today. Yeah, that's fine by me. Man, the walk to school this morning was absolutely freezing. February is quite the temperamental month, it seems. Looks like we're the first ones in again. Looks like Sakurai likes to leave early for lunch, I guess. Quite a few teachers do that. I almost, seeing the name Sakurai pop up, I almost gave her his voice. Wouldn't that be something? Imagine you're with that voice. I mean, oh well, it's not like my voice is particularly great either. I mean the one I'm doing right now for her. Quite a few teachers do that. Oh yeah, speaking of Sakurai, he actually asked me what my post-school plans were. So, did my homeroom teacher, funnily enough. I suppose all the teachers are asking their students that question. Well, the second years and presumably the third years as well. He didn't expect me to want to go to university and do something like Japanese. He actually suspected that you had something to do with that. Me? Yeah, he said it was your influence. Mom said the same thing. Kinda weird because I didn't know that was a thing. We pull out our food and the smell of Yuri's delicacies waft through the air. If only Sayori were here. That spending time with your partner would result in their personality rubbing off on you? Yeah. Really? I thought that would be rather obvious. After all, it's their personality and mannerisms that drew you to them in the first place. Don't forget their beautiful purple eyes. I reach over and plant a kiss on her cheek. Well, no one's around, so I might as well make the most of it, right? Ah! And I have to still continue voice acting this. I'm gonna die of embarrassment, depending on how far this game actually goes into this stuff. Oh boy. Oh, God. You do know how to make a girl feel flustered. I grin. Sorry, you were saying? Anyway, you'd be surprised at what your body subconsciously picks up. Humans are rather social creatures after all. I don't think that's just a case of me copying you, though. Oh? I think it's more a case of you opening my eyes to something I didn't realize I even liked. As in, I think I've always had the capacity to enjoy horror, or I've always had a tendency to appreciate literature. After all, I've played games and watched anime with fantastic plot lines. But then I'm dating someone who nurtures? Is that the right word? Anyway, who helps me explore those interests. I'm beginning to see how much I truly like them. if that makes sense. She nods thoughtfully. Yes, I can definitely understand what you're saying. Given that a lot of our free time together consists of reading or discussing literary themes, this is part of the reason I love you so much, Code. You actually get me, and it seems like the feeling is mutual. She stares off dreamily. Sorry, that wasn't too sudden, was it? Well, you see. I reach out for her hands and gently intertwining them with mine. Yuri scoots closer so our faces are mere inches apart. I could get lost in those eyes forever. And this is why I love you. You have no idea how endearing you really are. Well, that's not the only reason. I could list off a lot of others, but this carries on any longer, I think I might be sick. Is it Natsuki? It's Natsuki, isn't it? Yeah. You could tell. You could just tell by how insulting she had to be. The sudden irritated voice causing us to jump apart. An intense blush is spreading across Yuri's face, and I hastily rubbed the back of my neck out of embarrassment. Natsuki. Didn't see you there. Natsuki rolls her eyes. Well, duh, if your faces were so close, a volcano could have erupted, and you wouldn't have any idea. Sorry. When did you get here? I swear I didn't even hear the door open. That's because it was already open, dummy? That explains a lot. The sound of footsteps rapidly approaching the clubroom permeates the room as Monica hurriedly makes her way inside. And Monica, I'm sorry, but could you leave? Or could you talk less? I mean, I know you're only saying one line right now, but oh well. I have a feeling there's many more to come. Hey guys. What's the rush? It's not like you're late or anything. Well, I don't have much free time, unfortunately. There's some tennis duties I've got to dash off to soon. Of course, the team decided to hold this meeting in the middle of lunch. She mutters something under her breath and pulls out her food. That's weird. What is? Has anyone seen Sayori? Oh no! You know what? I suddenly got a bad feeling. She's not answering her texts. She's not coming to school. What if she did it again? What if she decided to off herself? Because I know there's bad endings in this game. And did I get a bad ending for Sayori? And when I check up on her, she's just gonna be gone. I don't like the thought of that. I really don't. Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Nope. I waited for her before I started my walk to school this morning, but she never turned up. Tried texting her, but I didn't get a reply either. Perhaps she's sick. Could be. Can't help but feel slightly worried. It's definitely possible, especially at this time of the year. I get the feeling I'm very inaudible whenever I do Monica's voice. I hope you can still hear me when I do this. Because my voice can't handle it and gets really quiet. I'll send her a text on my way home. Yeah, you live pretty close to her, right? Might be worth checking up on her too. I glance toward Yuri, she gives me a nod. Yeah, sounds like a plan. Is it just me, or is it kinda crazy that it's almost... Is it just me, or is it kinda crazy that it's almost mid-February already? Did you mean to say it's almost twice here? No, I'm with you. The year really feels like it's passing by in the blink of an eye. I imagine you feel that the most, eh, Monica? You've no idea. It's so easy to lose track of time. Don't you ever take a break? Well, it's not quite that simple. There's a surprising amount of bitterness lurking within her words. I'm tempted to press her, but she suddenly jumps to her feet after looking at her watch. And that's all the time I've got. She swiftly packs her belongings away. Leaving so soon? Yes, leave. Tennis stuff, remember? Monica nods slowly. Believe me, I'd miss it if I could. See you guys later. With Monica's swift departure, the atmosphere suddenly feels a little awkward, as it's just me, Yuri, and Natsuki. I guess it's kind of a given. Wait. So we're here for lunch, right? It's not like that this is the official club meeting, because that would be weird. It would? Yeah, right, she said tennis club activities during lunch. Imagine if they had the activities during the club meeting. Or are club meetings during... No, club meetings are at the end of the day, because we're always going home afterwards. You see, it's not like I know anything about this sort of stuff. But yeah. Imagine if this was an official club meeting and she had to go and it'd be just the three of us. No literature club president, and since Sayori is the vice president and she's not here either, how would we even organize? Unless, well, Monica is smart enough, she probably would have left us instructions on what to do. Plus, there's always, you know, sharing poems. Actually, literature club is mostly free time and then sharing poems anyway, so it's not like we need anyone to organize stuff. I guess. Monica's swift departure, the atmosphere, blah blah blah, I already read this. Thankfully, the bell rings not so long after, prompting all of us to make our way back to our homerooms. Another school day done and dusted. Interesting that we're so late into the game and we're still getting new backgrounds. So, this is the first time we're getting like a head-on look on the wall. We've seen corridors before, but not from this angle. I wonder why they added in this this version of the school corridor. Just to change things up? But then they could have added it in a lot more. Well, let's just keep going. With a yawn, I made my way to the school entrance, only to hear someone calling my name. Hi, Code. Would you mind if I were to spend the evening with you? Is that even a question? Come on. One of the best things about life right now is how enjoyable, if simple, my routine tends to be. At the moment, Yuri's cuddled up next to me, as we're watching a horror movie. I can hear the wind howling outside, which serves as a contrast against the cozy atmosphere in the room. You know what? That's one of the things I like most. When you're just in your warm room inside, and outside, and you hear the wind outside, possibly even rain. I don't know, that usually helps even more. Feel even more comfy. Is it just me? I think most people feel that way when it's raining and windy outside, that you suddenly feel even more comfy inside as you would normally. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like most people can relate to it. Yuri's warmth really lends to a homely sense of comfort. With our homework done, it's simply the best feeling in the world to kick back and relax after a long day of school. Stretch out from my phone, causing Yuri to make a noise of discomfort. She was lying against my shoulder. Sorry, it's my mom, so I kinda had to move to answer it. She noticeably stiffens up. Oh, would you like me to give you some privacy? I wave her concerns away as I glance back at my phone. The display tells me that it's a video call, so I angle the phone so that my mom can only see me. I don't want to suddenly put Yuri in the limelight. Wait, this is the first time we're doing a video call. Also, I forgot. I forgot her voice again. I think it was just... No, right. I think I got it. Hey, Mom. Didn't expect you to call me so soon. Evening, Code. You're looking well. I'm surprised it looks like you haven't just been living off chocolate or ramen. I roll my eyes at her light-hearted jab. I don't think Yuri would let me. Yuri softly giggles to herself. Oh? Do you have company, Code? I glance over at Yuri. Suddenly she's looking rather nervous, tilting the phone away from myself. I try to subtly signal with my eyes that this is a video call. Yeah. Yuri's here. Ah, as I suspected. The laugh didn't sound like Sayori's. Of all the voices I expected to be problematic for my throat, this was certainly not one of them. Alright. There's an awkward silence for a moment. It's clear that Mom wants to talk to Yuri, but I'm still hesitant to introduce them. Yuri closes her eyes for a moment and takes a deep breath. She gives me a small nod. At her command, I turn the phone over so that we're both in the shot. A warm smile comes over Mom's face. Hello, Yuri. It's lovely to finally meet you. Well, if you can call this a meeting. It's nice to meet you too. My goodness, you certainly weren't joking when you said she was beautiful, Code. Mom. Yuri's blushing furiously. The poor girl doesn't know how to respond. Mom, on the other hand, is sporting a joyous grin. You'll have to forgive me, Yuri. Meeting my son's first girlfriend as a mother, it's quite a special moment for me. Anyway, Code has taught me an awful lot about you. Apparently you have quite the knack for literature. I have to give Mom credit. Playing to Yuri's interests is definitely the best way to get her to warm up to you. Yes, ever since I was a little girl, I've always been into books. Horror is her specialty too. Oh, you'll have to be careful around Code, then. He's actually quite a chicken at heart. Yeah, that's only because it's a trait I inherited from you. Mom sighs theatrically. You love playing that genetics card, don't you? Honestly, Yuri, I don't know how to put up with him. Yuri smiles timidly. I can tell that she finds the relationship I have with Mom endearing, but she doesn't really know how to contribute to the humor. And you're quite the chef too, from what I've heard. Yes, along with reading, food is also another passion of mine. There's something really rewarding about experimenting in the kitchen. We've actually cooked quite a lot of stuff together, hard to believe, right? Indeed it is. I bet your parents appreciate having such a good chef, right? I know I'd definitely love it if CodeErr cooked me something. At the mention of her parents, Yuri predictably goes quiet. She's trying to respond, but it's clear that she's struggling. Well... I squeeze her hand gently. Well, they're the ones who got me into cooking in the first place, so I imagine that they're happy with how I've pursued it. A sad look clouds Mom's features. I see. What's wrong, Mom? Whenever I hear about how other children's parents are still around, it makes me feel really guilty. They're not around. They're not. They're really not. They're even further away than you are. I really wish I was home right now with you two. Exams, future plans, first relationships. Times aren't easy for you, son, and I'm not there when I should be. Mom, it's fine, it really is. I never once blamed you for any of this. It's not been easy since the divorce, and you've gotta do what you've gotta do, right? Money doesn't grow on trees, and I know you're doing your best. Besides, I'm doing fine. Well, I put Yuri closer to me, grinning at the look of surprise on her face. Better than fine, I'd say. Look at you two. You look so cute together. Yuri and I both smile sheepishly. I know you're right, Code. But that motherly instinct just never goes away. Mother's love is one of the most powerful things on Earth. It really is. Well, the good news is that we finally finished dealing with a particularly demanding client. There's a good chance I'll be able to return home soon. Please don't. I'm not confident if you're just a placeholder voice because I don't know what voice to give you. So please don't make me actually come up with a proper voice or keep using a placeholder voice unless the placeholder voice is acceptable. So far I haven't had complaints about any of my voices, which is probably because people are trying to be considerate of my feelings, but I know my voices are crap. No need to be considerate here. Really? Really? That's great. Do you know when you'll be coming back? Unfortunately, I don't have the exact dates right now. There's still some boring legal stuff that we've got to get through. Once that's over, you can bet I'll be on the first plane home. I'm half tempted to keep it a surprise and just randomly turn up one day. I would love to see Code's reaction to that. Me too, Yuri, me too. Anyway, I won't ramble on any longer, I'll leave you to love words to it. Yuri, my dear, once again, lovely to see you, and we'll definitely get to know each other properly when I come to visit, okay? I like the sound of that. Okay, well, take care. Love you, Code. I love you too, Mom. See ya. With a click, the line goes down, I set my phone back on the table. Whew, you handled that really well. Did I? I thought I came across as really nervous and reserved. It's normal to be nervous in that sort of situation. Your mother is really nice. Somehow she helped me with my nerves. She's pretty friendly. Yes, definitely. She's also got a certain warmth to her. It kind of reminds me of my own mother. I pull Yuri into a hug. She clings to me. Sorry, I didn't mean to drag the mood down or anything. I softly plant a kiss on the top of her head. It's okay. I get why it's an emotional moment for you. Anyway, do you want to resume the movie? A sly look comes over her face. Unless you truly are a chicken at heart. I respond by throwing a cushion at her face. Very funny. I can tell that Mom meeting Yuri in a person is going to be the death of me. Well, but it's certainly interesting that Yuri isn't shy enough to throw these little jabs at me. That's progress, I would assume. When you got a shy person finally building the courage to throw little jabs at you, then you're definitely making progress. As I walk down the street towards school, I yawn and crack my neck. I immediately die because I broke it. The end. It's another normal, average day for me. No, it's actually Valentine's Day. Did we get anything for her? Any particular gift? Like Valentine's chocolates or anything? Because I remember that in one of the free time events in Act 1, in the literature club, we actually were bonding over literature and eating chocolates. So that would have been... Also, Valentine's chocolate is a very classic gift to get someone. Did you get them? Probably not. Man, just thinking about the date night I've got planned is increasing my anxiety. Alright, so date night. That's fair. It's a nice gesture. Was thinking of an actual present as well. Maybe in addition to it. Just, you know, a small gesture like chocolates is completely fine. But if you don't have anything, well, I guess then it's just date night. It's not like I've never been on a date with Yuri before, but, well, we don't actually plan things out often. Our relationship is more of an organic one. Our dates are spontaneous. Finally having a formal date feels a bit surreal, to say the least. But at the same time, I'm also looking forward to it. Just gotta wait outside the school. Today's one of those few days when I've wished that I didn't have to go to the literature club. Yuri's waiting for me in the hallway as usual. Hey Yuri, ready for tonight? She gives a light giggle, her eyes shining with affection. Of course, Code. This may be strange for me to say, but I can't wait for the club to be over. I was thinking the exact same thing. Great minds think alike, eh? I'm feeling a bit jittery, all things considered. Well, all that jitteriness is gonna be worth it. Or at least I hope so. By the way, I made you some chocolates. So Yuri's the one bringing the chocolates. Well, ain't that nice? Isn't it usually the other way around? You know, it's usually expected of the guy to get give the girl Valentine's chocolates. I guess it happens the other way around too, but it's far more common for the guy to bring the gift. From what I know. Again, not like I have too much experience with this stuff. Sadly. I'm gonna die alone, aren't I? Well, that's why I play visual novels. Alright. She pulls out a small pink box tied shut with a thin ribbon. Inside a heart-shaped chocolates drizzled with various syrups and toppings. I hope they're to your liking. Are you kidding me? They look amazing. Thanks, Yuri. This is officially the best Valentine's Day ever. If only because this is the first time I've gotten romantic chocolates rather than fried chocolates. Friend chocolates. Why did I say fried? Can't even read. Can't believe that these are homemade. Yuri shyly ducks her head, mumbling a humble dismissal of my compliment. It's normal to make homemade Valentine's chocolates for your loved ones. They're nothing special. Don't sell yourself short, Yuri. I seriously can't wait to try one out. I sneak a quick kiss on Yuri's cheek while no one's looking. The breach of school rules startles her for a moment, but her surprise is quickly replaced by playfulness. Thank you. Now I wonder if we'll get any chocolates from the club members. As we step in the club room, we find Monika and Natsuki exchanging friend chocolates. Code, Yuri, perfect timing. Let's just get this over with. There's suddenly a packet of cookies hurtling toward my face. Luckily, I'm fast enough to catch it. That's something I would not manage to do. I would just get hit in the face and that'd be the end of it. Natsuki then hands Yuri her cookies as Yuri looks through her bag to reciprocate the gesture. Why is gesture so hard for me to say? No, never mind, I think I said it right now. The gesture. Why did I have problems pronouncing? Well, hey, why didn't you toss that at her too? Are you kidding me? I'm not gonna give special treatment to someone who's not even gonna give something back? But isn't that what White Day's for? But that's a whole month away. Valentine's Day is just a commercialized sham that forces girls to buy chocolates and stuff for guys? Really? Usually I feel it's more the other way around. Maybe I'm just picking stuff up the wrong way. You know, if that's how it is, that makes me feel even more bad. Because I've never gotten Valentine's chocolates, but I've certainly given others Valentine's chocolates. And if it's supposed to usually be the other way around, well, doesn't that just paint a lovely picture of how lonely I am? And we have to buy them for all our guy friends too, not just our crushes. You made these cookies though, didn't you? That's besides the point. Here, Code. Monika hands me a bar of chocolate wrapped in pink foil. I do see Natsuki's points. I'm lucky that I don't have anyone in my life though, because I don't have to go through all the effort to make homemade chocolates. Although you are supposed to get chocolates back from guys on White Day. If I recall correctly, most chocolates exchanged on Valentine's Day are actually between women. Well, that makes sense. The majority of girls probably have mostly female friends. Plus, it can be nice to just swap sweets with people you're close to. And on that note, thanks for the chocolates and cookies, guys. For a moment, we all exchange thanks for the sweets. By the way, where's Sayori? She's still not here. She's dead. She killed herself. She's totally dead. She isn't here for 2 days in a row. And she still hasn't responded to any texts. If she's alive, I would love to know. I noticed that she wasn't here too. Oh no, she did text her. Okay. We're fine. Sayori is alive. She texted Monika. She texted me saying that she went home early because she was sick. Pretty unlucky day for her to get sick, huh? She probably just didn't want to see me and Yuri being together all the time. Because she's got the big depresso. Yes, and it's a bit concerning how often she seems to get sick nowadays. Yeah, I'll check up on her when I have the time. Alright, now that we've got all the Valentine stuff out of the way, let's get on with the club meeting. Okay, everyone, I'll see you all tomorrow then. Phew, now that that's over, it's time for my date with Yuri! Ready for the night of your life. Are you sure that you're not building it up too much? I'm wounded by your words, Yuri. Giggling, we made our way down the school's entrance hall and momentarily separate to find our respective shoe lockers. As I open my locker, something white tumbles out. It's an envelope? The corners of the envelope are slightly crumbled, as if someone had been holding it too tightly. Inside is a small note that simply reads, "I'm happy that you're happy," with a small piece of chocolate taped to the paper. It's from Sayori! She's happy that we're happy, but deep down she's sad. We know her too well. I know the day before she kills herself is the day when she's just saying that she's happy that we found someone to. She's happy that we found someone and then turns around and cries and she's found dead the next day. I don't like the fact that she's now writing a note that says "I'm happy that you're happy" and just doesn't come to school. Well, she did come to school, but just leaves right. No. Is she gonna end up dying? I've said this before. I know that there are bad endings. If I get the bad ending with Sayori, is she gonna be gone? I hope not, but it just seems possible. It seems just so possible at this point. Note's ink is blurred a bit by little water damage. Yeah, she was crying. What? Whose note is this? Ladies and gentlemen, the densest protagonist ever! And why'd they give it to me? I'm just a normal guy, not someone who breaks hearts left and right. I can't think of any reason that I would have gotten this note. Yes, naturally, I can't think of any reason. It's not like I have a childhood friend who's been sick, called in sick for the previous day, went home early this day, which is Valentine's Day, to avoid seeing me. Hasn't been walking to school with me in forever. Yes, it's not like I have someone like that who might have been interested in me. No, I have no idea who this note could possibly be from. Oh well, I'll think about it later. You know what? I don't believe you, because I'm not sure if you can actually think. Do you have that capability? Ready to go? Yuri appears next to me as I stuff the note in my bag. Whoa, you scared me. Yeah, I just need to swap my shoes and I'll be good to go. But by the way, you never told me what we were doing today. Didn't I say that I wanted it to be a surprise? Well, yes, but... Wow, she looks surprisingly cute when she puts on a pouty face. Don't worry, you're gonna find out what it is soon enough. Let's head home so we can change out of our uniforms, though. One change of clothes later, we're both sitting on the train. It sways gently as it moves, and the rhythmic rattling it makes lulls me into a daze. Yuri leans against me, resting her head on my shoulder, as we watch the scenery blur by outside. Occasional whiffs of lavender and shampoo float my way. How can she always smell so good? The sunlight streaming in is soothing. It's nearly hot enough to be uncomfortable, but not quite. Code, are you falling asleep? What? No. Yeah. You'd better not miss our stop. If I do, you have full rights to break up with me on the spot. I lead Yuri by the hand as we approach the amusement park. The sound of music and children laughing fills the air. Interesting choice. Now since Yuri is more of a quiet girl, I don't really think I'd take her for the amusement park type. But I suppose it is still an interesting destination for a date. Again, Not sure if Yuri's the type to ride roller coasters and stuff, but the Ferris wheel might be a good opportunity to be all lovey-dovey, as always. Can I open my eyes now? Yup, check it out. Yuri's face lights up as she takes in the scene. Roller coasters and other rides tower overhead while crowds of people mill through the park grounds. Alright, so she does seem to enjoy it. Alright. I haven't been to a theme park in years. The last time I went to one, it was my parents who brought me there. A wistful look crosses her face and I squeeze her hand in comfort. It's so heart-achingly nostalgic. I wonder how it'll stand up to my memories. Thank you for bringing me here, Code. Well, I suppose this time I was wrong. Wouldn't have taken her for the type, but if she has fond memories with her parents at an amusement park, then I guess this time the main character outsmarted me. It doesn't happen too often, but here's one of the rare examples. Feel free to insult me for my stupidity of not being able to figure out something the main character has figured out. Of course, I was actually kind of nervous that you wouldn't like it. I suppose I'm not exactly the exciting type. And I love you just the way you are. In fact, it makes things that much more exciting and fun when you surprise me. So, alright, so the main character wasn't sure about it though. At least, now I don't feel as dumb as I did before. I see. Thank you. Anyway, let's stop standing around and enter the park. I'm guessing I'm gonna pay. I suppose I did pay for entering. I hope. Or is it one of those where you pay for the attractions instead of a general entrance? Because I don't know if I would want to go to one of those parks. To me it seems more logical to pay once in the beginning and then have the ability to enjoy it for the rest of the day. But I know that those kinds of ones where you pay for the rides, they exist. Have never been to one though. So where do you want to go first? What's there to do? I'm not familiar with this particular park, so... How about one of the roller coasters? Roller coaster? I'm taking that you're not a fan of them, eh? Not particularly, no. Okay, we can do something else then. How about the Ferris wheel? Again, it seems like the obvious choice here. Also, from the Ferris wheel you would be able to get a good look at the park and spot out the place you want to go from high up rather than looking at a map. I'll pull out a map of the park and look over it with her. Most of the attractions are rides, but there are two in particular that I think might interest Yuri. Which one should I suggest first? You know what? That seems interesting enough. Now, he said first, so I'm guessing we're probably gonna go to both. A haunted mansion might be better in the... Then again, if it's a mansion, we're gonna be inside anyway. And she's into horror. We're gonna go to the haunted mansion. Or are we gonna go... This is one of the situations where I would love to ask the viewers, but... Surprise, surprise, chat is still as empty as ever. Now I say as ever, but I'm glad to know that I sometimes do get an active chat. And I'm happy whenever it does happen. But this is not one of those times, apparently. So I need to choose, by myself, what's the better option. Now, Haunted Mansion is probably the kind of attraction where you would be most likely to, you know, hold on to each other. So, if you catch my drift, that would certainly be a nice place to go to if you want direct contact with your partner. Fantasy Village is probably just for looking around, might be interesting. But I think we're gonna go big or go home. How about the Haunted Mansion? It seems pretty relevant to us. Oh, I've always wondered about haunted houses. Have you ever been to one before? No, the only ones I've gone to were student-run haunted houses during school festivals. and those likely don't quite match up to professional ones. Do you think this one will match up to the thrills we enjoy in our novels? Only one way to find out, right? A few minutes later, we're standing in a quiet, sun-dappled corner of the park. There are surprisingly few visitors here, although the silence only adds to the atmosphere. The haunted mansion itself is modeled after a traditional Japanese home, like the ones you'd see in Kyoto. I don't know why I failed to read that. There's no excuse in this case. It looks quite normal on the outside. That might be why it's not one of the more popular attractions. However, the huge wings of the house sprawling across the grounds indicate that it'll be a lengthier experience. Are you ready to enter? Yep. Do you think it'll be scary? I don't know, but I'm highly anticipating this. Her eyes shine with excitement as she grabs my arm tightly. She's enjoying it and she's grabbing onto me. This is the best case scenario. There's nothing like the rush you get when you're fearing the unknown. I seem to remember you talking about this on Halloween. Let's go in before you explode from the excitement then. We brush the front entrance's curtains aside and walk into the house. As we enter the entrance hall, we're immediately met by an exceedingly anxious-looking man.
Oh, you're finally here.
Do we know you?
Yes. You're here to deal with the ghosts, right? The fabled paranormal investigator and a legendary Shinto priestess.
I guess we are now.
Good, good. Please, hurry up and help cleanse my home from these spirits, I'm begging you.
Where do we go?
Here, right this way. I'm sure I don't have to tell you to, but always move forward, or the spirits. Well, I wouldn't wish those horrors on my worst enemy.
There we go, I did a new voice. First one in ages. And with these ominous words, he shuffled us through a doorway and slams the door shut. Here we go. Oh, are there gonna be jump scares? I don't do well with jump scares. Overall, I don't do well with horror games, but as long as it's just a visual novel and I don't actually have to do anything other than read text, I'm pretty sure I can handle it. But as soon as I need to actually do stuff, while at the same time enduring the horror element, I feel like I'm gonna mess up. Which is why, example Subnautica, even though it's not an actual horror game, there are so many things that I was never able to do. Example, all the wrecks that were near where Reaper Leviathan spawned, I pretty much never explored them. Unless I absolutely had no other choice. And even then, I ran in, ran out, that was it. So yeah, I can't imagine playing an actual horror game. But depending on the situation, it might happen at some point. Though I'm guessing that's still a long way away. I guess I did play Spooky's Jumpscare Mansion. And even there, I got spooked so many times, even if I knew that there was something. But I did manage to pull through it. Actually. So yeah. And again, Spooky's Jumpscare Mansion also does have a little bit more cartoonish graphics for the most part. But even that just scared the shit out of me. Well, anyway, back to this game. Takes a moment for my eyes to adjust to the darkness. It's actually quite dark in the haunted house itself. The hallway is all old wood and plaster, giving it a bit of an abandoned feel. Code, are you coming? Yuri tugs at my arm, clearly eager to get going. Alright. I just don't want to run headlong into danger, you know. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. We slowly walk down the hallway also. Nice quote. The air is silent and still, with dust motes dancing freely around us. The only sounds are those of our footsteps and creaking wood. I almost feel the compulsion to hold my breath so that it doesn't break the silence. Yuri's warmth at my side is a welcoming distraction from the house. At this point, her clutching my arm is more for my comfort than hers. Yeah, I feel like I would be just as scared as main guy here. Haunted houses. I can't say I've never been, but the last time I've been to one. Oh boy. Actually, the last time I've been to one, that was when I was a lot younger. I actually started crying and got escorted outside by a staff member. So there's a bit of embarrassing backstory about me and how horribly I do with horror. To my defense, I was a lot younger back then. But ooh, that was still not my cup of tea, I guess. Going back to it now, I don't suppose I wouldn't be scared of it anymore. I do still remember what was going on in there, but I definitely feel like I overreacted at that point. Who knows when I'll go to a haunted house next? Maybe never. I don't know. Suddenly, a dark shadow darts across the end of the hallway. Yuri's grip tightens on my arm. Did you see that? Perhaps it's one of the spirits that man mentioned earlier. Spirits, huh? Don't forget your suspension of disbelief. Yeah, nothing's really happened so far yet, though. Don't tell me. I'm hearing things now. Is it getting louder? It's getting louder. I think you spoke too soon. The unearthly moaning sound is exactly what I'd imagine hell would sound like, and it's coming from behind us. We slowly turn around to find the source of the sound we were not supposed to turn around. A girl with pale, nearly bluish skin, her neck twisted around in an impossible angle. The white dress she wears is in tatters, her body covered in dirt, blood, bruises and lacerations. Stringy black hair nearly covers her face, but not quite. We can still see a chilling grin appear when she sees us turn around. As we stand frozen in place, the apparition takes a creeping step forward, her movements unnatural and disjointed. She takes another step, and another, and suddenly she's running straight at us. Are we running? Please tell me we're running. Holy crap. We finally find Snap out it. We finally snap out of it and begin running away, with me pulling Yuri forward by her hand. Not so fast, Code. Hold on, let's stuck in a room somewhere and hide. Whipping around a corner, I grasp the first door handle I see and fling it open. I pull Yuri toward my chest, and we tumble into the room together. She quickly slides the door closed as quietly as possible, while I sit on the floor and catch my breath. That was exciting. I can't believe how scared you were, Code. Oh, like you weren't scared? We laugh a bit as the adrenaline rushing through our veins begins to subside. I'm so out of breath, I suppose there are downsides to staying indoors and reading all the time. Same for me, but with video games and anime instead of reading. I didn't imagine that, right? The door actually moved on screen. Right? Huh? Did you hear that? How many times am I gonna have to say that today? It sounded like it came from the closet. We both look over at the closet door. While it was closed shut before, the door's now a few inches open, offering us a peek at the darkness inside. A hand suddenly appears from the crack, the faint light highlighting a hint of a nose and cheek. I'd prefer not to. Do you want to play hide and seek? I think we should get out of here. Yes, let's. I don't know how much time has passed, but we're finally out. It's blindingly bright outside after the shadows of the haunted house. The fresh air is especially refreshing given all the running we did inside. So, what do you think of that? I can see why some people get addicted to the thrill of haunted houses. Honestly, it was better than I expected. I thought there would be more cheap jump scares, but it actually played on our suspense quite well. Yeah, you know, it's good when it makes you scared even though you're aware that everyone's an actor. I especially liked how the girl in the closet from the beginning reappeared near the end too. Attention to details such as continuity can often elevate things from merely good to amazing. I think my favorite part was when we had to walk through a pitch black room together. Oh. Like I said, the fear of the unknown is a powerful drug. Let me guess, the room wasn't exactly silent either. Or was it completely silent? That would what? Both options would be creepy. Hearing that something is with you in the room, and just being in there in total silence. After what you've already been through, I feel like both would be equally terrifying. Anyway, we've still got some time left in the day, so where do you want to go next? Let's have a look at the map again. What do you think about this fantasy village thing? Is this the one that's based off the magical village in that one book series? I wonder how immersive it will be. I'm guessing pretty immersive since this park is known for it. Come on, let's get there before the lines are too long. Within a few minutes we find ourselves at the entrance to the village. That actually looks quite amazing. But let's be honest. How big does this amusement park have to be that you have this sort of incredibly big street with a castle in the background and you can't even see any attractions? I'm guessing all the attractions are currently to our back, so this is on one corner of the park, probably. But that still looks pretty big for an area of the park that has no rides. Because usually the rides are spread out through the park, so you would at least find one of them somewhere, but... Huh. This place is packed full of people, likely because of the popularity of the book series. Wow, it looks exactly as I pictured it. Only downside is the crowds, eh? I suppose we'll have to make sure we're not separated. Yuri tentatively grasps my hand, and I squeeze hers in return. I definitely don't mind how the crowd is making us press against each other. I'll bet this attraction is a huge moneymaker for the park. I mean, look at all the shops. It seems like nearly all the buildings house shops of some kind, ranging from cafes and restaurants to gift shops and bookstores. Everything here is pretty expensive. I'd expect nothing less from a theme park. Yeah, as sad as it is, you already need to charge to get in, and all the restaurants inside are usually expensive as heck. And once you have, and it's not like you have too much of a choice of where to go, so they can afford to make stuff more expensive in there. Because usually, once you leave the park, you can't enter for the rest of the day again. Unless you can get some stamps, but who would actually, if you're in a theme park, honest question here, do you go back to the entrance, get a stamp so you can re-enter and then eat outside just to go back in later? I don't know of anyone who does that. Usually you just take it as it is and pay the higher prices for whatever restaurants they have. We walk around a bit, window shopping and chatting. The architects really didn't spare any expense in making sure the village was as detailed and realistic as possible. Do you have anything in particular that you want to check out? Like stuff from the books that you want to see in real life now? That's a good question. Maybe, well, this may sound a bit silly, but I've always loved how the food was described in the novels. It always sounded so succulent and delicious. It's no surprise that well-written descriptions of food would have caught your attention. You think it might have partly caused you to learn how to cook too, along with your parents' influence, I mean? Maybe. It probably helped to turn me into a bit of a foodie, at least. I used to even read the books near dinner time to increase my appetite. Jeez, I'll have to reread the series then if the writing's that good. Oh, if you want to try some food, let's go look around for some. A nearby cart piled high with plastic mugs catches my eye. How about we try some of that? Oh, is that the famous butterscotch drink? Well, let's try it and see. Nearly 1,000 yen later, we're both clutching mugs towering with golden liquid and foam. Yuri tentatively takes a sip. How is it? It's quite rich and creamy. It reminds me of root beer, but with butterscotch instead of sassafras. I think I quite like it. I wonder how they make it. I'm sure you can look it up on the internet. By the way, you have a foam mustache now. She quickly licks her upper lip in consternation. That was super cute. You kind of reminded me of a cat there. That was cute. Oh, well, anything you do is cute, though. Thank you. I guess Yuri still doesn't know how to take compliments gracefully. That kind of gives her an endearing charm, though, at least in my opinion. You're so nice to me, Code. How could I not be? I mean, you're you. Yuri smiles bashfully at that, and I pull her towards me. I pull her toward me to put my arm around her waist. Now, how about we find some huge turkey legs to eat? I heard that this place is famous for that. Man, I'm stuffed. I can't believe we spent this whole time eating. Suffice to say, I don't think I'll need to eat dinner tonight. I don't think I'll need to eat for a week at this point. I'm kind of tired. Would you like to go back home then? Hold on, I actually wanted to go on a ride with you. What kind of ride? Ferris wheel. Ferris wheel. Don't worry, it's not a roller coaster. I was actually trying to save the best for last. Come on, just follow me. Okay, Code, I trust you. There it is. I point up at the wheel towering above us. Its colorful passenger cars swaying gently in the air as they travel around the wheel. The Ferris wheel? I figured that we kind of had to take a ride on it because of all the Valentine's Day legends associated with Ferris wheels. You know, stuff like taking a ride on Valentine's Day means you'll stay together for the year. Really? Never heard about that. Never heard about that. Maybe I'm just culturally ignorant. Or maybe it's because I have zero experience with it. Again, showing my lonely side here. Please feel sorry for me, it's the only encouragement I get. Well, if it's such a tradition, we should probably honor it. One queue later, we hop into one of the gondolas and feel a slight jerk after a moment as the wheel begins turning. Have you ever been on a Ferris wheel before? No, I don't actually think so. It's quite tall, isn't it? Yeah, but if it wasn't, we wouldn't get any view. Yuri peeks over the edge of a window to look at the ground slowly shrinking below us. We aren't very high right now, at least. Just give it a minute and we'll be fine. I see a few children waving at the Ferris wheel as we're lifted higher and higher into the air. It's a kind of a strange feeling, seeing everything become small as their map seeing everything become small as their map counterparts. Oh, as small as their map counterparts. There we go. I was wondering why the sentence didn't make any sense. Of course, if you miss a word, it doesn't make sense. Everything is bathed in a golden glow from the setting sun, as if the whole world were dipped in honey. The silhouettes of other rides loop around in the sky, but none are as tall as the Ferris wheel. The noises of the park faded away. It's quiet in the gondola. Hey, I think we're at the top now. Yuri looks straight at me with a bit of a strange smile on her face. Aren't you going to look outside? Yeah. She sneaks a quick glance outside for a second, then snaps back to staring at me again. Her knuckles are white from gripping the edge of her seat. Yuri, are you afraid of heights? Yes. You should have told me. We didn't have to do this. It's alright. If you're happy, then I am too. My mind suddenly flashes back to the note I found earlier today. But I'd like to see you happy too. If you're genuinely not having a good time on the ride, then what's the point? You're so kind, Code. It's just common courtesy. You're kind and funny and smart. You're good at talking to people, even if you say otherwise. Why are you here with me? Huh? What do you mean? I'm here with you because I want to be here. But you're so good. Did Yuri's words just fail her? This might be the first time I've ever seen it happen since I've known her. Sure, she stammers and takes long pauses to think sometimes, but she's always been able to find the right phrases to accurately convey her thoughts. She has a rueful expression on her face. Clearly she knows that she's grasping for words. And how can I be good too if I'm nothing like you? Yuri. I lean over to grab Yuri's hand in mine. You don't have to be like me to be good. There are lots of things I don't necessarily like about myself. And there are tons of things that I do like about you. I don't think anyone else has been able to change my life as much as you did. Well, except for my parents, of course. But you're the one who got me into literature, who's inspired me to go to university after we graduate. You're the one who I can see myself with 10 years into the future. Even the little things endear yourself to me so much. The way your eyes sparkle when you're passionate about something, how cute you can be when you pout, how insightful you are when you're talking about normal things, how beautiful you are when you float off in your own world while you think. I softly brush a strand of hair from her face. How your hair falls on your face. We're so close together that I can feel the warmth from her breath on my skin now. Code. And suddenly our lips meet. Her lips are soft and warm. I can almost swear that I taste the faintest hint of butterscotch. After what seems like an eternity, we finally break apart. I love you, Yuri. And I love you too, Code. This has truly been one of the best days of my life, so thank you. No, thank you for coming along with me. Of course I came along. I'm your girlfriend. You wanna try looking down at the view now? Come on, I'll hold you. You're safe with me. Okay. Don't let go of me. I wrap my arms around Yuri's waist from behind as we take in the sights in front of us. She's slightly shorter than I am, and I am just about able to rest my chin on her head. I hear her laugh as she wraps her hands around mine. We stay like this for a while, slowly allowing the gentle bob of the gondola to take us back down to the ground level. It wasn't so bad when you looked over the edge, was it? No, I suppose it wasn't. It was a beautiful view, very picturesque. Thanks for helping me get over my fear, at least for that moment. Of course. Anyway, just go for it, Code. It's kind of late, so do you want to stay the night? Oh, I'd be happy to. Seems like we're both suddenly overcome with shyness as we start heading into my house. I curse myself as I fumble with the doorknob, but we eventually find ourselves inside. Flipping on the light switch, I somewhat nervously turn toward Yuri. Do you want anything to drink?
Just water would be fine, thanks.
I quickly busy myself in the kitchen, rummaging through cupboards as loudly as possible to break the tension. She's gotta realize what I'm thinking about, right? The silence soon returns as I pass the mug of water to Yuri, though. Are you hungry? I could bring out a few snacks, too.
Didn't you already eat enough at the amusement park?
Ah, true. Just tell me if you need anything, then. Ooh, the tension. The tension is so high here.
Alright, thank you.
There's a small moment of awkward silence.
Code?
What is it?
Could I use your shower?
Oh yeah, of course, you're probably all tired and sweaty from today. Not to say that you're super sweaty, though, I just meant that you walked around a lot today and stuff. God damn it, Code.
It's fine.
So... Here, I'll show you to my mom's bathroom, that way I can use the other bathroom at the same time.
Okay, thank you. Do you have an extra towel, too?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I do. Also, please tell me you're actually just using the shower and not cutting yourself. That would be appreciated. I lead Yuri to the master bedroom's ensuite bathroom, then quickly rush over to the other bathroom to take a shower myself. I'd almost forgotten, but this is the place where I saw Yuri harming herself. I can nearly see the bloodied razor blade lying on the floor again. Snap out of it, Code. This is probably the worst time to dwell on those things. Still, I can't help but be reminded of it. I just need to shower and get out as soon as possible. A few minutes later, I'm sitting on my bed, shaking my leg from nerves. Why do girls take such long showers? Well, I guess Yuri has her hair to wash. What seems like a lifetime later, I finally see her enter the room. Hey, fancy meeting you here. She sits down beside me on the edge of my bed.
Code? I know I keep saying this, and sorry if it's annoying to constantly hear it, but thanks for today, you really are the perfect boyfriend to me.
How can I be annoyed at that, especially since you called me the perfect boyfriend?
You really are too good to me. You're so thoughtful. I never think to do anything for you or buy any spontaneous gifts for you. I'm so selfish. Look, here I am making everything about myself again.
This is going to be a recap of our Ferris wheel Is this going to be a recap of our Ferris wheel conversation? Yuri, you don't give yourself enough credit. You're not being selfish, you always think about other people rather than yourself. And if you want an example of your own thoughtfulness, remember when you bought me that copy of Portrait of Markov?
I nearly forgot about that. That was so long ago.
Seems like only yesterday to me. I mean, how could I forget about the time a beautiful girl gave me a gift? If you can call me the perfect boyfriend, then I get to call you the perfect girlfriend too.
Code.
I lean in close, her lashes are long and flutter with each breath she takes. While her eyes, I could almost get swallowed up by those clear pools of violet. Little flecks of darker purple amidst the reflected light on her eyes give her irises a jewel-like quality. Impulsively, I press my lip against hers. The emotions from back on the Ferris wheel are swirling inside me again. The kiss is brief, but leaves me wanting more. How far are we going? Suddenly, Yuri clears her throat. Is it time for the censor option to come in? Actually, let me just check if it's actually still... Okay, it's still censored, because I know there's nudity in here and I don't want to risk anything, okay? Suddenly, Yuri clears her throat.
Code, could you close the curtains?
Oh boy, is this really happening? Again, let me check again. I want to make sure. Censor nudity. It says yes, okay. Oh, skip Halloween is an option? Interesting. Okay. This is the time where you need to stay calm. I enabled the option, so it should be fine, right? Right? It's not gonna happen and I'm gonna get banned. Okay? We're fine. Oh boy, is this really happening. I get up and pull the curtains closed with a swish. Could you turn off the lights as well? Okay, whatever makes you comfortable. To be honest, I'm kind of glad that she wants the lights to be off. I'm not too self-conscious when it comes to my body, but I'd still feel a bit embarrassed at being naked in front of Yuri. This is happening. As I flip the lights off, I hear rustling from Yuri that's followed by a small thump on the floor. I can't see much when I turn around, given that my eyes haven't adjusted yet. Even so, I can tell that Yuri's stuff is now laying crumpled on the floor. And thank you for the follow, by the way. Thank you, TJ Brown. I appreciate it. We're about to encounter something potentially dangerous, and I need to double and triple check that censor nudity is actually enabled. Because I don't want to risk anything right now. Okay. Yuri, should I... Give me a moment here. I'm not sure if I should be worried right now. I don't know. Is it okay? Is it still okay? I don't know. I mean, she's not nude. She's still wearing stuff, right? So it's okay. It's fine. Fine. Can I show this? You were watching someone stream it. Okay. So it should be fine. Because I really don't want to make any stupid mistakes here and end up getting myself banned. Okay. Let's turn it back on. Censor nudity is on. Okay. Yuri. Are you sure? Okay, this is happening now. Also, we can once again see her cuts. Not the best, but oh well. Her voice cracks a little as she answers me. Yes? Sorry, I wish I could let you see me. But not right now. Not yet. It's okay, we can take it slow. Can I touch you? Oh my god, reading this out loud is really, really embarrassing. I can't believe I'm actually reading this sort of stuff right now. Just pull through it. Okay. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I guess it's safest to ask the questions just in case. Plus, knowing how shy Yuri is, I don't want to rush her before she's ready. Okay. I step closer to her, so close that I can smell the lavender fragrance in her hair and the faint scent of sweat from her body. After this mod, can you play DDLC Abridged? You know what? Hang on, I'll add it to the list of things I'm supposed to play. I'm gonna play. I have a list. I'm gonna add it onto it. But for now, I'm still busy with this mod because I don't even know how long it is. Plus, Yuri is the first one I'm doing. I plan to clear the other character routes as well at some point. So, that's definitely gonna be interesting. So, DDLC Abridged, I'm gonna add it on. DDLC Abridged. Alright, it's on the list. Quite the amount of cursing, but it's funny. Alright. It's on the list. I'm gonna check it out eventually. But right now I'm still busy playing this mod. Again, I don't even know how long this mod is. But I do know that I still have a long ways to go if I want to clear the other characters too. Let's hope that I can ease some of her anxiety. My fingers gently brush against her sides, however she flinches at my touch. Sorry, did I surprise you? No, sorry, it's just that your hands, they're cold. Ah, shoot, sorry about that. I quickly rub my hands together in an attempt to warm them up. No need to apologize. Looks like this moment of embarrassment helped break the ice a bit. I reach out to hold Yuri's waist again. I can feel goosebumps all around her skin now, but she doesn't flinch this time. Slowly, gently, I move my fingers along her body, exploring the softly firm curves before me. Yeah, maybe once I'm done playing through this mod, I'm gonna need some more funny mods rather than this, which is borderline hentai. I'm saying borderline because she's at least wearing clothes. And we're not seeing the actual stuff happening. Yuri bites her lip, closing her eyes. Would it be too much to hope that she's closing her eyes in pleasure? After a few moments, I find my hands at her shoulders and pull her in for another kiss, this time more intense and passionate. Without thinking, I rub my hands down her arms and am suddenly startled by the raised up bumps snaking across her skin. No. She quickly jumps away, tearing her arms out of my grasp. Some of the scar tissue was softer, but other wounds were clearly still scabbed over. Sorry, I'm sorry, I wasn't even thinking about that. I didn't mean to touch your scars like that at all. For a moment, Yuri stands across from me, with her face in her hands, breathing hard. And she finally looks up to make eye contact with me. It's okay, it was an accident, so... We can stop for tonight if you want. No, I'm fine. Sorry, I was just startled. I want to keep going. She steps forward and puts her hands on me, sliding them down from my chest to my stomach. Although her movements are as graceful as ever, she's moving more slowly now, more methodically. Having reached the edge of my shirt, she suddenly moves her hands up and under the cloth so that she's touching my bare skin. Taking this cue, I pull off my shirt. We both pause for a moment, uncertain of what to do. Her face is completely red and she's looking down at the ground. I guess she's still embarrassed, but to be fair, I am too. She tucks down my pants a bit, probably to move things along. I respond by unbuttoning my pants and pulling them down. By the time I look back up, Yuri's taking off her leggings too. Do you want to lie down? Alright. I stand aside waiting for Yuri to get on the bed first. Her movements are almost laughably robotic, a stark contrast from her previously smooth motions. Hey, are you okay? Yes, I'm just nervous. Well, just so you know, I am too. My reassurance seems to give Yuri the final boost of encouragement she needs as she briskly clambers onto bed and lies down before me. My eyes flick up to meet her eyes flick up to meet mine before darting away to stare staunchingly at the wall. Never in a million years did I think I'd be in this situation. You and me both, buddy. Because I know you're an idiot and I didn't think you'd actually manage to pull this off. But hey, we all know the main character is completely dense. Everything considered, he can call himself lucky to be in this situation. My eyes hurriedly wander over every inch of her body with each passing second, causing my desire to grow and grow. Can I assume that if I hadn't enabled sensor nudity, she would be completely naked? I don't know. It just seems plausible to me. I naturally can't say for sure. Elegant curves, smooth skin, the way her hair is splayed out underneath her. Let's not ignore the elephant in the room, her chest. Her breasts rise and fall almost hypnotically, involuntarily arresting my attention. Even the darkness can't hide how subtle and full they look. And it's a mark of Stupfield. It's a mark of... Alright, I can't read. Stupfield that I haven't reached out to touch them by now. I can feel blood rushing to a now very prominent member of my body as my heart rate accelerates further still. Yuri glances back up at me, presumably waiting for me to do something. When she meets my eyes again, her hands seem to instinctively move over her body to cover herself. Ah, sorry. My words startle Yuri, who slowly uncovers herself again. No, I'm sorry. How did I suddenly increase in viewers so much? I had 1 viewer the entire stream and now I have 4 viewers. Seriously. And this is safe, right? I'm asking again. There are so many people now showing up. Just for this scene, probably. Alright, apparently people also have an interest in Yuri. Oh god. If this is what people... if this is the first thing people see me playing, then I don't know if this is the sort of impression I want to give off. Poor Yuri's virginity. I know she's gonna lose her virginity to an idiot. She's gonna lose it to an idiot. And everyone's watching. Nah, I say everyone, it's just 4 people, but still. Oh god. What for? The lights and... I don't know. She turns her head away so that it's hard to see her expression. It's okay. You look just... Okay, Code, get it together. You've been gawking like an idiot for long enough. I race to slip my boxers off, trying to ignore how self-conscious I feel as the most honest part of my body springs up, eager to be free from its cage. And... oh, someone's raiding me. Well, thank you for raiding. I suppose that might explain where the viewers are coming from. And thanks for the raid. Thanks for the raid. Thank you so much. Bard X Gaming? Have I said that correctly? Thank you. I appreciate it. That explains the increase in viewers. Alright. As I get on the bed, Yuri peeks back to look at me, her eyes flickering down to the southern region of my body. And again, if this really... I don't know if this is the best thing you would... I just finished this game earlier and I'm sad. Sad because... Alright, so you're playing this game too. Huh. Well, you say you're sad. Sad because it ended, or was the story kind of sad itself later on? Well, since you played the game, I mean, as long as you can keep it kind of spoiler-free, can you tell me a bit about your thoughts on it? Because so far, it's interesting. Certainly nice to get to meet, get to learn more about these characters. I can't talk. I can't talk for shit, and I'm going out with the literary girl of the club. Oh no. I made the wrong choice here. He's the guy to play this. Well then, I guess that... Well, that's an interesting coincidence then. So you came over to my stream, and then the guy you just watched decided to raid me soon afterwards. Huh. I mean, hey, Yuri's just nice. Yuri's just really nice. How can you not like the smart girl? Because really, being smart and the smart and shy type, I don't know what it is about them, but they're just really, really attracting to me. I don't... Yeah. Yeah. I shouldn't really talk about that right now. I should probably just get on with the game, right? Because we're just kind of stuck on this scene. We've been stuck here for a while now. Alright. I'm just hoping my body isn't a disappointment, given how incredibly alluring hers is. Now that I'm practically on top of her, I hesitate slightly. Aren't you meant to, like, start with your fingers or your tongue? I want to make her feel good, but I wouldn't know what to do with my tongue, so I opt to carefully slide my hand down past her stomach. Yuri's body trembles slightly under my touch, and as my hand moves further and further south, her breathing grows more and more irregular. Also, I think it's get on with it. Yeah, alright, I'm going on with it. Also, 123 Bob, hi. Also, interesting how the first time I ever get raided is on this scene, on such a scene. Perfect moment to get the first raid in, right? Is that anticipation or just nerves? Her face is turned away again, so I can't really tell. The game itself was a heartfelt, peaceful journey that I'd love to go through again. All I'm telling you, I'm definitely gonna go through it again because I also want to clear the other 2 character routes, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to experiencing what the other characters have to offer. Like 12 viewers come out of nowhere. Now I'm up to 6. This is the most viewers I've ever had, I think, so it's definitely these scenes that attract them. Alright, good to know what attracts the viewers. Let's go into the settings and turn off censor nudity. I'm gonna get banned. Yeah, no, I'm not that stupid. I'm just gonna keep going. Finally, with my fingers mere millimeters away from her, I slowly begin to stroke the warmth beneath. Me. There's a sharp intake of breath as Yuri twitches at the first touch. Are you good? Does it feel alright? She nods, although I can feel her body stiffen in anxiety. I wait for another answer, but she doesn't make any other moves. Well, tell me if you feel uncomfortable. I begin rhythmically massaging her again, attempting to adjust the movement of my fingers in accordance with her body's cues. On the DLC, and I was like, seems appropriate place to. I mean, yeah. Yeah, it's going to censor it. I'm gonna go into settings. As you can see, I turned on censor nudity. Absolutely no problem. It's censored, okay? No need to worry. I don't want to get banned. I know I'm gonna censor this stuff. We're safe. It's perfectly censored. I don't want to get banned because of this. Although it takes what feels like a few minutes, her body eventually begins to relax more and more. We both worked up some sweat by now, although much of it is just from nervousness, I can tell. Take it off. No! Please. You know what? I'm gonna, after the fact, this stream is gonna get uploaded to YouTube, and I might eventually, I'm saying this, make a separate video that I'm gonna age restrict, where I just look at all the uncensored art. I might do it. Without any nudity. What version of DDLC is this? This is a modded version. I just said it, this is the perfect time. This is the most viewers I've had, and this is because of this. So this is a modded version that takes you pretty much beyond when the game originally ended. So in Act 2, Act 2 was all about becoming an official couple with your person of interest. And in Act 3, the main character, dense as he is, finally figured out her cutting herself, and now this is happening. It's definitely an interesting version. Most viewers you had was 2. Well, maybe you should consider playing some games that are a little bit more risky. But yeah, as I was saying, I'm probably gonna, once I'm done with the game, I might make a video on YouTube that is just gonna be age restricted, where I look at all the uncensored art of this game, just to appreciate the art, of course. But I'm definitely gonna have to age restrict that. If that is even still acceptable for YouTube, even if it is age restricted. Because YouTube and nudity don't really get along, as do Twitch and nudity, as do pretty much most common streaming platforms and nudity. Except those that are specifically made for it. What I can tell, though, is that pleasuring her is somehow making me feel good myself. Yeah, stream fork knife. Well, ain't that a nice thing to stream? Some good old fork knife. Oh god. You occasionally make strained noises, and although part of me wishes that she'd just allow herself to make sounds. Another part of me thinks it's cute that she's shy. As if reminding my mind, Yuri finally opens her mouth to say something. Yuri gasps a bit as she tries to speak. And I got another follower. Barix Gaming, thank you. Thank you for the follow. First the raid, now the follow. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. I'm ready. Pulling away from her for a moment, I lean over to grab a small foil packet from my nightstand. Despite my hands shaking, I manage to fit the rubber over myself. My face flushes when I realize that Yuri's been watching me put it on. With the realization that I've noticed her eyes on me, Yuri swiftly looks away again. Don't worry, like you said, we're both nervous. Yeah. Yuri spreads her legs apart and covers her eyes with an arm as I try to position myself comfortably. It's now or never, Code. With my feelings and passion come to a head within me, I pushed forward into Yuri with one quick motion. Voicing this entire thing is is so embarrassing. And people enjoy watching me make this cringeworthy content right now. I hope Yuri is not making too many noises because I can't bear voicing those. That's gonna be too much cringe for me. I can't handle that much. A cry of pain makes me stop for a moment. Are you okay? I knew that it might hurt for her, but I didn't expect it to be that bad. Yeah, just go more slowly. Oh, I hate myself. Okay, just keep pushing. Serious mode. Serious mode. She peeks out at me from behind her fingers and smiles through her wince. I resume my movements, but try to go more gently this time. It's hard to do though, as the sensation, it just feels too good. It's playing this on YouTube with no censor. JK. Yeah. A stream on YouTube with no censor, I'm sure that'll go fine. It's warm and wet, and fits snugly over me as if we were made for each other. Yuri begins to match my movements with her own, and our synchronization sends a satisfying tingle surging over my entire body. A moan involuntarily slips out from her lips, and she bites down hard on her lower lip to stop herself from making any more noise. I can't help making some grunts myself as I work my hips against her. Out of instinct, I reach out and tenderly grasp one of her breasts. The feeling of the warm, soft flesh adds another layer of pure pleasure shooting through my brain. I'm losing myself to her sheer satisfaction, the sheer satisfaction of the moment. So you have to curse less. James, do you have to curse less? Yeah. We all know that. But hey, I can curse all I want if I was never monetized to begin with, right? Yeah, no nudity on YouTube. Well, I can curse all I want, however, because I'm not monetized, so I don't have to worry about demonetization. I can say fuck and shit all I want. There we go. No problem for me. What was I right? The feeling of warmth of flesh adds another layer of pure pleasure shooting through my brain. I'm losing myself to the sheer satisfaction of the moment. Who could have guessed that sex would feel this good? A primal hunger flares to life as I caress and squeeze her breasts, feeling the nub of her nipples beneath my fingers. As my feelings intensify, I grab her legs and move faster. The change in pace causes Yuri to falter somewhat, losing track of the rhythm of our movements. However, she's able to match my thrusts again soon enough. The sound of our grunts and pants grow more and more frequent, and I can feel her build up quickly, growing in intensity. The sensation of Yuri, my love for her, everything begins to pulse in my mind until... Yuri! Waves of pleasure washing over me, building up into a climax. These sensations. It feels as though we're melting into each other, becoming one intense being made out of passion. The euphoria only lasts a few seconds, and as quickly as it arrived, it's over. Long strands of hair stick to Yuri's face, and I try to brush some aside once I regain control of my body. Yuri's breathing comes out in quiet little puffs as she recovers as well. Code, come lie down beside me. Dutifully, I crawl up to her side so that we're laying face to face. I can't help but steal another kiss from her. Code, give me a chance to breathe. Sorry. How is it? Is my voice cringy yet? Is it not cringy enough? Can I go cringier? I resort to holding her hand instead, and slowly but surely our breathing returns to normal. We smile at each other, whereas the silence before were awkward. This one is a comfortable one. Like the comfortable silence we've had in the past. Oh god, hang on, I need something to drink. Oh, now that it's over, the viewers are finally going back down. This is more what I'm used to. Again, it's still a bit more than I'm used to, but still. Now, like always, we don't need to talk to each other to understand each other. I'm dreading the moment when we'll have to get up and get out of each other's arms. But for now, it's just the two of us in a warm cocoon, far away from the rest of the world. Well, that was an experience. I mean, I knew it had to be coming at some point, but... And this, please, Yuri was born. Yep, that happened. Oh boy, and she's still gonna be here, of course. Now that the alarm goes off. Hey, when the alarm goes off, so did you just set an alarm out, for the hell of it, or is it actually a school day? Normally, I'd be a little grumpy at the thought of yet another early start for school, but not today. Thinking about the Valentine's Day weekend, Yuri and I spent with each other. Or was it a time skip? Was it a time skip, or is it a school day right after she stayed over? I think it was probably a small time skip. It really couldn't have ended any better. Waking up to her on Sunday with neither of us clothed. Alright. So we did have a small time skip. I blush as I hop out of bed. Now that we've taken our relationship to the next level, I wonder when's the next occasion going to be. Flashes of Yuri's body flicker through my mind. Man, I really am the luckiest guy alive. Also, we're not gonna get the story of what happened the morning after. Nothing? We're just skipping to the next school day. Nothing about this is what happened the morning after. This is our interactions from now on. Nope. I'm guessing the writers of the mod don't have any experience to know what happens the morning after. Oh! Oh well. With a grin, I complete the rest of my morning routine and head to school. Looks like the weather is emulating my feelings. It's uncharacteristically warm today, and the nasty grey skies of winter are nowhere to be seen. Can't complain. I'm not doing voices for texts, right? Also, again, why can you guys not see the phone on screen? Why does the phone disappear in the recording software? I, to this day, don't understand. Since I noticed it the previous stream, now it's really sticking out to me. Every time the phone comes up, I look over at the recording software to see no phone. Maybe I'll get it. Maybe I'll understand at some point why it's happening. Maybe the phone for some reason is a separate extra game, a separate window that the game creates in addition to the game window itself, and that's why it's not popping up on the recording software. That's all I can think of. Morning, Code. Hey Yuri, what's up? Just thought I'd let you know that I won't be in school today. Looks like I've come down with some kind of cold. That sucks. You don't need anything, do you? Like any medicine or whatever? No, I think I'll be okay. Thank you for asking, though. Are you sure? I really wouldn't mind coming over after school. Positive, I'll let you know if I feel any better. Okay, sounds good. Hope you feel better soon. Thank you. Love you, Code. I love you too. I love you too, Yuri. Speak soon. Oh, man. Sucks that I won't be seeing Yuri in school today. I've really turned into a lovesick puppy, haven't I? I smile as I shake my head and carry on walking. There's our good old teacher Sakurai. And that's the end of today's lesson, everyone. Such a shame to end it on such an interesting note. I don't suppose anyone would rather learn about the relationship between Hitler and Mussolini instead of stuffing their faces with delicious food. Might try to stream Among Us. You know what? I feel like, you know what, I might, if you're planning on streaming Among Us and I'm done with streaming by then, I'm thinking of maybe checking in at least a little bit, just because. But the thing is, I probably won't be able to watch for too long in that case. We'll see. We'll see. Because sadly, I have some other stuff to do as well. But for now, let's move on with the stream for a little bit longer. Speaking of Among Us, one of my friends just now streaming that now. Oh! And you're watching my stream instead of... Yeah, sorry, gotta go. Well, I'll maybe see you later then. Can't guarantee it, but I'll try to pop by at least to say hi. So till then. Potentially. Where was I? Right. His own stomach rumbles, causing the class to laugh. Well, I hope no one would, because I'm really hungry. Until next time, guys. I stand up and make my way over to the door. Oh man, I bet the others will tease me about Valentine's Day too. Totally forgot about that. Sayori, Natsuki and Monika are already there by the time I step foot inside. Monika is typing something on her laptop while attempting to eat, while Sayori is wholly engrossed in the food. Sayori is back! She is back! She's okay, she's absolutely fine. I'm so glad that she's fine. I mean, okay, fine might be a bit of a strong word to describe it. She is probably still very depressed. But at least she's back. On the other hand, Natsuki doesn't seem to have any food in front of her, and is instead focusing on what looks like yet another shoujo manga. Morning, guys. It's warm today, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I have to say it's a huge relief, because tennis practices aren't nearly as enjoyable when it's freezing outside.
You still play tennis in the winter?
You're so dedicated, Monika.
More like crazy?
You'd be amazed at how often those two traits coincide.
As I pull out my food before eating, Monika closes her laptop lid and puts the machine into a bag it fits snugly into.
Is Yuri not with you today?
Nah, I've been playing this game too long, I can't even speak anymore. Nah, she said she wasn't feeling very well today. Natsuki mumbled something under her breath that sounds suspiciously like morning sickness. Yeah, probably best to act like I didn't hear that.
Oh, what's wrong? Is it the flu?
Nope, just some kind of bug. I offered to go and see her after school, but she said she'd be okay.
You know, that's probably for the best.
Huh? What do you mean?
I mean, you two already spent a lot of time with each other, right? I'm guessing you guys also spent the Valentine's weekend with each other too. Of course, it's nice to spend time with your partner, but it's also healthy to take a break, don't you think?
Oh no, I can't do Monika's voice anymore. My throat is getting too hoarse. I hadn't really thought of it like that. Yeah, I guess you're right. I'm just a bit worried, that's all. Monika laughs softly.
Oh, it's just a little bug. I'm sure that she's going to be fine. She's not a little child that you constantly need to look after.
Okay, I get it.
It's sweet that you're
Please, I'm dying here.
It's sweet that you're concerned, though.
Yeah. Natsuki must have been looking at my expression because she suddenly pipes up. If it makes you feel any better, I'll go and check up on her. Huh? She looks down at the floor looking like she's struggling with her words. I mean, she's my friend too, so... I grin. Natsuki has always been someone who's really bad at hiding her true feelings. You're worried about her too, aren't you? No. It's just, well, we're getting a bit close, so she... I just thought she'd appreciate it if I went to see if she was doing alright, okay?
Look at you looking out for Yuri so much. It's so cute.
Seeing the look on Natsuki's face, Monika hastily interjects.
I think what Sayuri really means is that it's nice to see you two bonding so well as of late. Looks like you've both put aside your differences, and it's great to see.
God, you guys make everything so sentimental and awkward.
Sorry, Natsuki. Anyway, seeing as Yuri isn't here today, there's not much point in sharing poems for our club meeting. Instead, why don't we try writing one instead?
Ooh, something new. Yeah, I'd be happy with that. I'd be okay with that. What about the poems we've already written, though?
We can share them when Yuri's back. We'd all get more feedback that way too.
I guess that can work. No complaints here.
I figured you'd say that, Code. I had a hunch you were slightly preoccupied over this weekend and weren't able to write a poem.
No idea what you're talking about, Monika.
Well, have you written... Well, have you...
Monika, I can't do this.
Well, have you written a poem?
What a mystery! We'll all be taking to our graves. Monika doesn't look particularly convinced, but thankfully the bell rings, sparing me of any further interrogation. As we pack away our things and prepare to head back to our homeroom classes, an idea comes to mind. I think Yuri would really appreciate it if I wrote a poem for her. Yeah, that'd be a great little romantic gesture. Let's just get through the rest of the day. With my final lesson over, I make my way back to the club room, eager to test my poetic abilities. I've really changed, haven't I? I didn't mind writing poems back in September, but now I'm so eager to do so. Oh well, it's hardly a bad thing. Once again, I'm the last one in. As I settle into my desk, Monika clears her throat and addresses everyone in the room. Memes22 simp. I know I'm simping for Yuri. The main character simping for Yuri. Everyone's simping for Yuri right now. I am aware of it. I am aware. The simpage is so extreme. I completely agreed with you. I told the main character to agree with Yuri even if I completely disagreed. Like, for example, if it's okay to receive money as a gift. I agreed with Yuri when she said that she was against it. Yuri said money is not not something you give someone as a gift. It's not okay. And while I actually think that money is okay, depending on the situation. But yeah, I would like Mikan. Are you talking about Mikan Tsumiki from Danganronpa? Specifically Danganronpa 2 and the anime. Because if you're talking about her, then I can tell you this, I do like her. So you're 100% right. You're 100% right that I like her. Oh man, the Danganronpa series would be such a great experience if I could have streamed it blind. Sadly, I already played it before I started streaming, so there's no point in me going into it. You sim for Mikan too. She's so nice. Mikan is really nice. You know, she does get a lot of fan service moments. But really, with her backstory and everything. And Ibuki. Okay, I'm gonna be honest here. And say that Ibuki's not really my cup of tea. Personally speaking. I think she's an interesting character. But not one of the ones I was most interested in. So, slight disagreement here. Yeah, I'm sorry, I have to slightly disagree. It's interesting that you like those two, considering... I mean, if anyone is watching this and hasn't played the games yet, I'm sorry for a short spoiler warning. It's interesting that you like the two people who died in the same chapter. You know, with Mikan killing Ibuki and stuff. Kind of sad, really. Kind of sad. Kyoko from Danganronpa 1, yeah. She was also amazing. Danganronpa just has so many great characters, you have to admit. Just really, most of the characters are really amazing. There are a few characters who I don't really care as much about. You saw the anime? You're talking about the anime of the original game or the anime Danganronpa 3? Which was the Future arc, the Despair arc, and what was it, the Hope arc? Flea Waltz of all of them. So yeah, personally I played all the games, I watched the anime, I've experienced everything. Problem is, when I got into Danganronpa, I know I'm kind of not focusing on the game right now, but since I can talk about this, I might as well talk about this. I kind of got into it out of order. One of my friends recommended it to me when we were talking about anime just. Yeah, Kaede. That's Kaede's lie, isn't it? No, but when I was talking with a friend about anime recommendations, he brought up Danganronpa, and naturally, he recommended the anime. So first I watched Danganronpa the animation, and then Danganronpa 3, and I even watched Danganronpa 3 in the order you're not supposed to. I watched the first episode of the Despair arc, then the entirety of Future arc. No, wait, the other way around. The first episode of Future arc, then the entirety of Despair arc, then the rest of Future arc, which is not how you're supposed to watch that at all. But that's how my friend said I should watch it. So I blame him for making me experience it in the wrong way. And only after I was done with the anime, that's when I realized that there were the games where the anime was pulled from. So I played the first game, which was basically just the anime with much more content. Then the second game. And now, I can't remember if I played Ultra Despair Girls first or jumped straight into Danganronpa V3. I know I played them both. But yeah, I can say I've experienced everything about Danganronpa, except for the manga. You like the first one? The first one's just a plain old classic, right? It really sets the atmosphere really well, with everyone trapped in the school. Danganronpa 2 was a lot more open. Despair Girls are... yeah, it's a little bit of an oddball. Killed her sister. Oh, yeah, right. Mukuro and Junko. Yeah. But... it's interesting, though, when you think about it, that Ultra Despair Girls isn't really that the game called Ultra Despair Girls is neither about Junko or Mukuro. While Junko has a kind of cameo in it towards the end, she doesn't really appear that much otherwise, other than, you know, with Monica worshipping her. Speaking of the name Monica, we have our very own Monica here, just spelled with a K instead of a C. Yeah, but Danganronpa another episode, Ultra Despair Girls, was definitely a little bit of a departure from the classic formula. Not to say I hated it, but it certainly wasn't as entertaining as the mainline games, I have to admit that. Oh well, I'm getting far too distracted now. I just jumped onto this topic for a bit, but maybe I should progress with this game a bit, because we're not playing Danganronpa right now, we're playing Doki Doki.
There isn't really much for me to say. After all, you know what you're meant to be doing, so feel free to start. By all means, feel free to collaborate with others if you want to. I figured this would be a great way to get some insight into how you guys write poems.
Mikan was on crack? Well... Mikan was... Well, Mikan is Mikan. Say about her what you want to say. She's definitely very clingy once she gets a liking to you. If I'm not mistaken, doesn't she in the school mode go a little bit yandere towards the end? Like if you played the mode you unlock post game, I don't know if she's like that in. Now I can't remember if that was during her free time events or if it was in the date events that you unlock post game. But Mikan certainly goes a little bit clingy and slightly yandere towards the end towards you, which is interesting. No, yeah. One line from her that was definitely from the dating thing is that she was actually considering hospitalizing you so that you would need her to look after you for the rest of your life. An interesting case, to be sure. Way to pressure us, Monica.
Sorry. Just see what you can come up with. If you want to finish at home, that's fine. I just didn't want to waste a session, and I figured something new might be appreciated.
It's okay, Monica. Monica's voice is still the hardest for me. I still can't manage to get her consistently. Sometimes I just find her voice and can go along with it quite well, and then other times I just can't seem to get into her voice again. Come on, Natsuki, let's work together and see what we can come up with. She leads her away as I reach into my bag. As I'm pulling out my writing materials, I pause. Is that note that I received on Valentine's Day? Man, I totally forgotten about that. Are you finally connecting it to Sayori, you idiot? What should I do about it? Even though I am more than happy with Yuri, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't at least a little curious about whom this ender was. It's Sayori, you big goof. Looking around, it seems that Sayori and Natsuki are busy. Well, at least Sayori is, as she's animatedly chatting away while Natsuki looks like she's pretending to listen. Monica doesn't look preoccupied with something for a change, so... Hey, Monica! Of course, talk to the one person I don't like doing the voice for.
What's up, Code?
I lower my voice and shift my chair so I'm a little closer to Monica. This prompts her to raise an eyebrow, an understandable response, I guess. Listen, can I, ask you something?
Something confidential, I assume.
She discreetly nods at the other two girls. I nod my head and show her the now crumpled note. I have found this envelope in my locker room on Valentine's Day.
And you're asking me...
Monica, you're killing me. After this day is over, I'm probably ending the stream. I know it's not one of my longer streams, but still. My vocal cords would probably appreciate it. Plus, I shouldn't be streaming too long today anyway, and I have someone else's stream to check out for at least a little bit.
And you're asking me if I know who it's from?
What? How did you guess?
Well, it's either that, or you're going to ask me if I sent it. And I think we both know the answer to that question.
Though her tone is dry, I can faintly detect the humor in her voice. I sometimes forget how much Monica likes to tease people. So, any ideas?
You tell me, Code.
I blink at her. What's that supposed to mean?
In other words, I'm asking if you have any idea yourself.
Well, also I noticed that I'm shifting more Monica's voice slightly more in the direction of Yuri's voice right now. Mainly because that's so much easier for me to do. I want to get back, I want to be able to do the voice again that I did. It has to be from someone I know. Can't imagine it's from any of my classmates. I honestly couldn't imagine it coming from Natsuki. And you obviously haven't, so are you finally connecting the dots, you big idiot? My eyes wander over to the back of Sayori's head. Monica must have been following where I'm looking as she nods.
Looks like you don't need my detective skills after all.
But Sayori?
Did you also receive friendship chocolates from her?
Yeah, but that's just that. Friendship chocolate, right? Monica stares at me for a moment, and somehow I get the feeling that she's doing her best not to roll her eyes. I don't know, it's just weird to think of Sayori in that sense. We've always been good friends. It's just kind of weird to imagine us being anything more than that.
There's nothing wrong with feeling that way. There's nothing wrong with feeling that way, Code. Besides, aren't you happy with Yuri now anyway?
I guess, I just feel kinda bad for Sayori, you know?
But there's nothing to say that you can't spend... But there's nothing to say that you can't spend time with her as friends. I know she'd probably really appreciate that.
Especially since we've stopped walking to school together. A horrible feeling of guilt flashes through my body. Yep, you're right. Thanks, Monica.
It's okay. Now, haven't you got a poem to be getting on with?
Ah, yeah, for sure. Guess I'll get started. After some time, Monica stands up and addresses everyone once more.
Okay, everyone. I think that's all the time we have today. How are all the poems coming along?
I glance down at mine. I'm fairly happy with it, although I am not entirely sure how Yuri would perceive it. After all, she does have quite high standards. Pretty good, I think I'll finish the rest at home. Yeah, same here. Mine's actually finished.
Looks like everyone's in the same boat then. We can sort out when to share the poems tomorrow, because I really gotta dash. See you guys tomorrow.
After swiftly packing away her things, Monica zooms out of the door with the velocity of a bullet. Me and the two other girls also start packing up, and before long we're good to go. While writing my poem, I decided that I wanted to walk Sayori home, but surprisingly she's already gone. Natsuki's the only one left, and she's awkwardly hovering by the door. You gonna be much longer? Huh? Oh no, I'm sorry. Guess I've been a little too lost in thought. I swiftly pack up my stuff and join Natsuki in the corridor. Still gonna go check up on Yuri? She nods. Sounds good. Let me know how she's doing, okay? Sheesh. Do you get paid to worry or something? I start to laugh, but the memory of the cuts on Yuri's arm suddenly come flooding back. The laugh turns more into a wince. Natsuki looks at me curiously. Yeah, probably. See you tomorrow. Natsuki still looks a little suspicious, but doesn't say anything. It's been a couple hours since I got home, enough time for me to have finished my homework. With nothing left to do, I am flopped on the sofa and browsing some anime. As I catch up on my favorite series, my mind drifts over to Yuri's house. I wonder how Natsuki is faring at the moment. It's a little strange how she's the one who went over, and not me. But then again, I suppose it's a good thing that they're clearly getting along better these days. I guess Yuri will tell me about it later. My mind also keeps focusing on the Valentine's note along with Monica's words. If it's really from Sayori, and she likes me? The note didn't exactly say that though. I'm happy if you're happy. What does that mean? Well, basically, that, along with the clear water damage from her tears you saw on the note, it clearly means that she's trying to make you not worry about her, but she is in fact sad that she's lost you to Yuri. You big dingus. If she does indeed have feelings, then could that water damage actually be from tears? Wow! Sherlock Holmes is on the case! Sherlock Holmes is on the case here. Or is it just my overactive imagination? Still, no matter what's going on, I really should spend more time with Sayori. Explaining it to Yuri might be a bit tricky though. I don't really want her knowing that Sayori might have feelings for me. Thinking about it, I could just say that I haven't spent much time with Sayori recently. Nothing dishonest about that, and besides, I'd never do anything to betray Yuri's trust. Yeah, that's a good idea. Man, Yuri has a habit of ringing me when I'm thinking about her, doesn't she? Hey Yuri, how are you doing?
A little better, thanks.
Is Natsuki over?
Yes, she is. I have to admit, I was a little surprised.
Yeah, she mentioned she was gonna come see you at lunchtime. I didn't see it coming either. But it's good to see that you two are getting on so well these days.
Mm-hmm. I agree, but even though she's considerate towards my needs, I still feel a little awkward around her, especially when it's just the two of us. Still, I feel like we're getting to know each other a little better, which is a small price to pay for some awkwardness.
Yeah, I was telling Monica about how nice it is to see you two getting along these days.
Although, if I'm being honest, as nice as it is to have her around,
Mikan and Yuri, best girls on deck, hello. Well, nice to see nice to see you appreciating Mikan as well, by the way. Well, you know, I have to say it again. I am sad that I have played Danganronpa before I started streaming, because I really think Danganronpa would have been such an amazing game to stream. It's kind of sad that I didn't manage to pull it off. And I pretty much completed all the games fully. Like even V3's RPG mode that it has in the end, I even played through that in its entirety too, which involved a lot of grinding. So sadly, I don't think I'm gonna be making any Danganronpa themed content. Unless, of course, they hit us with some big announcement, and against all odds announce that there will actually be another Danganronpa game. Ultra Despair Girls 2. Sorry about that. But that just seems the most likely. I mean, it has been teased. Come on. There was a teaser about UDG2 in V3. And getting another mainline killing game just seems unlikely, considering the ending of V3. Yeah. Oh well. We'll just have to wait and see. I mean, there were supposed to be more announcements for the 10-year anniversary this year, but I'm not sure. Were they cancelled entirely? I think they were just postponed until next year, right? But there were supposed to be more announcements. Just gonna have to wait and see what comes our way.
as nice as it is to have her around, I wish it was you who was looking after me, not her.
Huh? But you're the one who said I didn't have to come over when you rang in the morning.
I know. I thought I'd be fine without you for a day, but it's proven to be harder than I imagined.
It's only been a few days, Yuri.
Sorry, I must be coming across as such a freak right now. You must think I'm so obsessive and clingy.
I'm not really sure what I should say here. I don't want to upset her by telling her that her behavior is kinda clingy. But at least she's not full on yandere. But on the other hand, I can't deny that it's a bit, I don't know, alarming to hear that she can't even bear to be apart from me for a day. This is probably just because we're still in the honeymoon phase of our relationship, right? Monica did talk to B about how it's important. Monica did talk about how it's important for each other in a relationship to have their own lives and breathing space, though. Well, to tell you the truth, I think it's a good thing to spend a little time apart. The line goes quiet. I am starting to worry that I might have said the wrong thing.
Code, you still want to be with me, right?
Where's this coming from? Of course I do, Yuri, I love you.
Right, of course. Sorry, I'm just being really silly at the moment.
I hear her take a deep breath.
Don't worry about it, seriously. What did you and the others get up to during the club meeting today?
Yuri's behavior is still a bit suspicious, but I decide to let it go. This isn't really a conversation to be having over the phone. Not much. We decided to write poems instead of sharing them, so it was pretty quiet.
Oh, well, I look forward to reading your latest poem then.
Any idea when that would be?
I'm actually feeling a lot better, so most likely tomorrow or the day after. I don't want to jinx anything just yet.
Fair enough. And now, actually, hang on, Yuri's voice has just drifted more towards Monica. They just drifted too close to each other. I need to correct my voice. Fair enough, I think you'll really like this one, or so I hope.
Oh, why is that?
You'll have to wait and see.
Man of mystery.
Yeah. There's an awkward moment. There's an awkward moment of silence.
Anyway, Natsuki's insisting that I get some proper rest, so I should probably get some more sleep before she gets angry. I'll speak to you soon, and I'll hope to see you again tomorrow, okay? I love you, Code.
Love you too, Yuri. Get some rest. The call ends and I slip my phone back into my pocket. There's no denying that Yuri does sound a little bit obsessive, but is it anything to be concerned over? Only if it's amplified to an extreme amount. We know what happens then. Sure, it's good to spend time away from your partner, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't disappointed over the fact that it's Natsuki and not me who's taking care of her. Well, it's too late to see Yuri now anyway, plus Nurse Natsuki is there, so there's not much point in thinking about it. Clingy or not, for someone who struggles with acceptance, both from herself and from others, I suppose she's doing well. With a shrug, I turn back to the television screen and immerse myself once more in the colorful world of anime. There we go. So as I've said, I'm gonna end the stream here, cutting it a little bit shorter again. Not even quite 2.5 hours of streaming. But as I've said, I would have preferred to stream yesterday, and I would have had more time to stream. If I had the opportunity to stream yesterday, I would have been able to make the stream longer. But today, I'm gonna have to call it quits at some point now. So, I apologize for that. So yeah, I'm gonna end this here. We experienced some interesting stuff today. I had a chat as active as I haven't had for quite a long time. And I really want to say I appreciate everyone who showed up, whether you were active in chat or not. I just really appreciate just the mere gesture of you checking out my stream. And to everyone watching this on YouTube, I hope to see you around in future streams maybe. It would be appreciated. But yeah, this is where I'm gonna call it quits, so I'll see you next time. So until then, bye!